Hi there, everybody. How you doing? Will here with Just in Time Prepping. Leo and I want to say good morning. Hey, Leo, he stands for pride and strength. So, we made a video yesterday about me, but let's get back to being prepared. I want to talk today about clothing. It's to me, clothing is something makes the world go around these days. It seems like. If you know anything about women, women love their clothes, and when shit hits the fan and everything, clothing is going to be important. But you don't want so much clothing that it takes up all your space. You're going to have a smaller space for sure, and probably it's going to be important, but it's not going to be important to be fashionable. Now, if your woman or whatever, your mother, whatever, is like my girlfriend, then you would want to try to get them to have less clothes. You want to make sure that they have enough clothes to deal with the situation at hand, is what I'm trying to say. It is something like you want to make sure that you have enough clothing for like the winter months, the summer months, the spring. You can always take off, but you can't always add on, the old adage. Most women, if you look into their closets, you'll find that they have clothes they don't really even need. Or anyway, that is how it is for me. I open up the closet and I look in there, and in my side of the closet I have like this much room. And then I look in the other half's closet and it's like, oh man, I don't know, this much room, So, you want to make sure that you balance out. That's what I'm trying to get to, is the balance of clothing. Make sure that you have your long johns and your wool socks, and then you have nylons. Nylons for women is a good thing, like long underwear for men. So that's how I look at it, is women collect more than what they need. Now, don't get me wrong, guys are hoarders too, and they just have a different way of hoarding. The guys, they pretty much just hoard guy stuff, and tools and camping gear and boats, and oh man, they can come up with some good stuff. Where women, their important stuff is clothes, shoes, makeup, stuff like that, things for the home. A lot of older women, they like things for their home, they like the little knickknacks hanging on the walls, and they have their shelving all set up with little memorabilia stuff and things like that. Well, this is what I want to talk about, is when shit hits the fan, you don't really need all that stuff. What you need is the basic necessities for what you need to survive. So, you want to make sure you have like long underwear, or pantyhose for women, or whatever. I heard that pantyhose can be pretty good for women when it comes to keeping you warm. I wouldn't know. I dressed up like a woman once for a Halloween party, but I really didn't notice if I was warmer or not. I didn't pay any attention to it. So, those are things that we need to think about. Make sure that you're going to have enough to get you through till you can get your stuff re-cleaned and use it over again. Like for me, I have 2 pairs of long underwear, the tops and the bottoms, and I found that I can alternate between the two when it gets cold outside, because I don't wear them all the time. And if you do wear them all the time, you can always take them off if it's too much. So those are the things I talk about, or think about. Women, they want to make sure their makeup's perfect, and that they have those little over-the-shoulder boulder holsters on, and those in themselves are like insulated underwear. So yeah, make sure that they have their bras and their panties and their nylons to keep themselves warm, and then guys have their long johns and their wool socks and their insulated boots. And I'm telling you what, insulated boots are something else. You can have anything from a small liner inside your boot to buying boots that are good to 100 gazillion degrees below zero. I know that in today's day and age that you can get a good pair of insulated boots that are good to 30 or 40 below, and they weigh hardly nothing. But as I was growing up, you had to have these huge boots that had these thick liners in them that were good to 10 or 20 below zero, but they weighed 100 pounds. Well, it's not like that anymore. You can get a good pair of boots. Thinsulate. I like Thinsulate. I know they have 100, 200 different kinds out there. But for me, myself, I like Thinsulate because they're light. I don't have to have that big, thick padding in there. And because I am going to be starting to wear my fashion gear here, then I will need to make sure that I'm traveling light. So here we go, Thinsulate boots, some wool socks, a good pair of gloves to keep my hands warm so I can still be able to move my fingers, but at the same time keep warm, And that's the same thing with women. They need to make sure that they have the necessary gear, Some women believe in being the lady part of the family, and they have the brassieres, and they have the panties, or they have flannel this or flannel that. So you know what, you just do what you gotta do, But the thing I guess I'm really getting at is you want to make sure that you don't overkill. Don't overkill, because you never know when you're just gonna pick up and go. And you want to make sure that if you got to pick up and go, it's enough for you to be able to put on your back and go. Put stuff in your backpack. I have, and most people do, have a backpack that is like everyday stuff where I can bob, It's my everyday carry stuff I put in there, and it just gets thrown in the car and goes with me and whatnot. And then you've got your ones that you go hiking all day long with, and they are just a little bit bigger, but they hold a little bit more. And then I have another backpack. I could go get it for you, but I'm not gonna. That'll be another video. It's one that lasts for a week. You got enough stuff in there for a week. Well, if you got a backpack that big, and mine has, it doesn't have the external frame, it's an internal frame backpack, so that when you get it on, it feels really good on you. So those are other things we're going to have to look into, is the different kinds of backpacks and stuff. But mine is an internal frame on it, so I can put enough stuff in there to last a week. Well, even though it's in there for a week, I could still have enough stuff in there that I could reuse it or clean it and reuse it, and that would be good for like a month. And it's stuff like this, you can put some food in there to last you. You could get enough food in yours and your like my sons and my girlfriend's, and my niece lives with me, so she would have to have hers. And you get all these backpacks that are good for a week, and everybody's got them on, and they're taking off, and they're going somewhere. And so you've got enough stuff for a couple of months, and you don't even realize it, So that's what you want to think about. You want to pack everything up. Everybody carries something different. They carry their necessities, but they also carry other things in them. So you get everything on. Everybody's got their backpacks on. and they're heading out across the country, because if you know anything, when you have to bug out, you want to try to stay off the main roads, because that's where all the people are going to be. They're going to be trying to rip you off. So the clothing thing is, make sure that you have enough for at least a week, because you can always re-clean them and use them over and over and over again. And that's today's lesson, is you know you have to have clothing, so you want to make sure you have gloves and socks and underwear and your t-shirts. You want to make sure you have long johns, and you want to make sure that you have something to put on your head, whether it be all the way down here, or like me, you'll see I usually wear a baseball cap, but in the wintertime I'll have a stocking cap on, or something I can throw down over my ears. So those are the kind of things you want to think about, and you want to pack them up, and you want to know that they're going to be in there for when you have to bug out. You make sure everybody in your group or your family has something different in their backpack, so that when you get where you're going, you can set up a routine, everyday thing. Everybody's got the pots and pans and the food and everything else, the clothing, and everybody can do their own thing. Everybody's got their own, trying to think what it's called, bedding. Bedding is the best word, you know. You can have your mat and or an air mattress or whatever, but everybody's got their own stuff, and they're all carrying the same weight, and they're all getting along. So clothing, make sure you got your clothing in there. Today's lesson is clothing, so make sure you got t-shirts, you got long underwear shirts, you got your thermal socks, or you got your everyday socks, you know, stuff like this. Everybody's got it in their backpack. Besides that, they're also putting different stuff that you're going to need every day when you set up your camp or your lookout point, whatever. You're going to have something, so everybody's got everything. Your tarps, your tents, and whatnot. So today's lesson is clothing. Make sure that you put enough clothing in there for a few days, because you can always redo it. And then that leaves enough room left in there for you to put your bedding, your food, your communication stuff, you know, stuff in there. Maybe a few small solar panels, so that you can communicate with your devices that you have. So today, make sure that you carry enough clothing that you can just rotate through it. You're gonna have to deal with it, and that's what it is make sure you have food, water, clothing, shelter. That's what you got to do. So today's lesson's clothes. Make sure you have enough to keep you cool, you have enough to keep you warm, and you're never gonna worry about getting cold or being overexposed. Today's lesson's over, boys and girls. I hope you got something out of it. I always kind of go off the deep end sometimes, and that's just the way I am, so you guys already know that. As you know, I have this thing. I am GoFundMe on Facebook, www.facebook.com/justintimeprepping. Go there and give me a couple of bucks. Try to get that portable machine, because it'll fit inside my backpack when I go, and I'll be able to plug it in to my little bitty solar panels, and I'll be able to stay kicking long enough to teach my group or my family how they got to do to survive. So for today, I'm done. Short video. But I want you guys to know I appreciate you guys looking at my videos and passing them along to your friends. So give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button with the little bell, so that you know when I make another video. And God bless you. God bless your family, and God bless the US of A. Ta-ta.